It is Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you joining us. On today's show, we have the latest Seattle Seahawks trade rumors. We will look at trade possibilities for Roquan Smith of the Chicago Bears, as well as Panthers quarterback Sam Darnold. Let's start with Roquan Smith. The Sporting News has named Seattle as Roquan Smith's most likely landing spot. Interesting on that front with Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith has been very good throughout the last few years in the NFL, and now the idea of potentially bringing him to Seattle. You have a Seattle team that's in rebuild mode, and where he's at in his career and with his talent, he would fit the timeline for this Seattle team to build for their future and take things to the next level. Now, here's what the Sporting News exactly had to say about the idea of bringing Roquan Smith to the Seahawks. Seattle is in the midst of a rebuild and has both the cap space, $13.8 million, and draft capital to make a deal for the Bears linebacker. That includes 2 first- and second-round picks in 2023 as a result of trading quarterback Russell Wilson to the Broncos. It's worth noting the Seahawks also have former Bears defensive coordinator Sean Desai as their associate head coach and defensive assistant. That reunion could make Seattle an intriguing option. Seattle also cut an aging Bobby Wagner ahead of the 2022 season, the third contract year of a $54 million deal. That leaves ample room for Smith to step in and immediately take over in the starting linebacker rotation, or the Seahawks could take a chance on one of the linebackers in the 2023 class as opposed to a proven commodity in Smith. So, that's the idea of trading for Roquan Smith. And the capital that would take to bring in Roquan Smith, that remains to be seen. But at the very least, it's an intriguing idea nonetheless, right? A guy that's this talented, this young, would he fit right with the Seahawks? Only 25 years old. This is our pinned comment today. Let me know in the comments section. Should Seattle trade for Roquan Smith? If you think they should, type Y for yes. If not, type in for no. Let me know in the comments section, one way or the other, how you stand if the Seahawks should make a move for Roquan Smith. Personally, I'm not opposed to trading for Roquan Smith at all. I think that he is a terrific talent, that we haven't seen him at his full potential, that he's been really good through these first few years of his career, but there's still more that awaits Roquan Smith at this point. Now, to kind of give you the recap on Roquan Smith, he requested a trade on Tuesday, saying the new front office regime does not value me. He is a 2-time second-team All-Pro, and he also was on the Pro Football Writers Association All-Rookie team as a rookie back in 2018. So he is a guy that people have had their eye on for quite some time as a very good impact player. And now, if you get him out of Chicago and get him to a team that has actual key pieces on defense around him, we know this Seattle team has some valuable assets. Could he be freed up to even take his play to another level? To me, I think we could certainly see that with this Seahawks team. Now, the numbers on Roquan Smith. Dating back to last season, he had an interception, 3 pass breakups, and 12 tackles for loss to go along with 163 tackles. A lot of tackles for Roquan Smith last year. And, I mean, you look at the numbers. He's gotten better each year. I mean, 12 tackles for loss last year, 3 sacks and an interception. 2020 was solid as well with 4 sacks, 2 interceptions, and 18 TFLs. And each year, all 4 seasons of his career so far, over 100 tackles. An impressive mark for Roquan Smith there. The grades, according to the folks at Pro Football Focus for 2020, were very solid. A 67.2 grade. But what stands out there on that chart that you see on your screen right now is the coverage number, 84 for Roquan Smith. An outstanding number for him, according to Pro Football Focus there. Now, with that said, paying him, not necessarily cheap, as right now the highest paid off-ball linebackers in the NFL you can see include Darius Leonard at $19.7 million. Fred Warner at 19.05. And I think that you would look at Roquan Smith sliding in at about at least $18 million, somewhere between the Fred Warner and the C.J. Mosley money. Much more, I think, than Zach Cunningham and Deion Jones. So with that said, with Roquan Smith, not only are you talking about bringing him in and giving up assets, but paying him a decent amount of money as well. And you already paid DK Metcalf. So if you're the Seahawks, do you trade for Roquan Smith not only to shore up that defense, but also build for your future, make him essentially the DK Metcalf of your defense? That's what we're looking at. The type of money you're committing, he would be one of the highest paid players on this Seahawks roster. So something to keep in mind there. Seahawks Today, we're bringing you coverage each and every day here on the channel. Subscribe now if you have not done so already at youtube.com/Seahawks TV. We're going to be doing live shows, watch parties, covering all the breaking news, trades, rumors, free agency, and more. And this week, with the Seahawks taking on the Steelers, we are in the midst of a sub-battle with that preseason game coming up on Saturday night. And we are beating Steelers talk in new subs this week, but let's keep the momentum going. Keep it pushing ahead here of those pesky Steelers. We're at 55. They're at 49 new subs. Let's keep it going. Subscribe now, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. And if you're already subscribed, make sure your fellow Seahawk fans are real ones and that they're subscribed to the channel as well at youtube.com/Seahawks TV. Let's talk about Sam Darnold now. Bleacher Report has suggested that the Seahawks trade for the Panthers quarterback. It looks like that Baker Mayfield is in well position to earn the starting job with the Carolina Panthers. And with the money that Sam Darnold commands, that leaves him in a position where the Panthers are looking to move on. And for me, this one's quite a reach, the idea of bringing in Sam Darnold, but I have an open mind, so let's give it a look nonetheless. Here's what Bleacher Report's Alex Case said. Darnold would give the Seahawks a chance at unearthing a franchise QB during a rebuilding year. If he can stay healthy, he has yet to play a full NFL season and reach that ceiling that made him the number 3 pick in 2018. There is a chance he'll emerge as a viable starter. With weapons like DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett surrounding him, Darnold could finally find sustained success, though there is a good chance the quarterback doesn't realize his potential for a late-round pick at most. This is a trade worth making for the Seahawks, according to Alex K. We'll tell you what Pete Carroll had to say about Sam Darnold in a moment. But before we do, our pin combo today, should the Seahawks trade for Panthers quarterback Sam Darnold? Let me know in the comments section if they should make this move. If so, type T for trade. If not, type D for decline. Let me know one way or the other if the Seahawks should make the move for the Panthers quarterback. T for trade, D for decline for Sam Darnold. For me, it's a hard pass on Sam Darnold. No thank you. $18 million for a guy that's done absolutely nothing in this league, that's made a lot of mistakes. He's already had a second chance in Carolina, and it simply did not work last year. I mean, they played Cam Newton at one point over Sam Darnold last year. He was traded there in 2021, drafted number 3 overall by the New York Jets. And look, the talent is there with Sam Darnold. It's clear. The talent level is there. But he hasn't been able to put it all together. And at that price tag, I'm not willing to put that together for Sam Darnold, to give him a third chance. You look at the statistics. They're not good, folks. He's only had one season where he's thrown over 60%. So no thanks. I am not interested in the idea of bringing Sam Darnold to Seattle. He has cost too much when it comes to his salary. He has not played well. Seattle is not in a position to pay that kind of money for a quarterback that just isn't very good right now. Now, Pete Carroll has been a fan of Sam Darnold. And the two, of course, both have ties to SC. Pete Carroll being the former head coach there, Sam Darnold there years later. And this is what Pete Carroll had to say. You go back to December 2020 of what he had to say on Darnold. He said, I think he's really talented, without question. He's got great throws in him. He's a real quarterback. He sees things. He makes big plays and big throws in difficult situations because of his talent. It's just a matter of time. Sam's going to be a really big-time QB. He's thrown a lot of balls in 3 years. He's had a lot of experience. It will pay off in the long run. So, there you have it. Pete Carroll there. I think what we call that, folks, is an old take exposed. No, Sam Darnold's not putting it together. This is the end of the road for Sam Darnold. He is going to be a backup the rest of the way. I'm not trading for Sam Darnold. I'm not paying him $18 million either. No thanks. I went in with an open mind. Alex K. from Bleacher Report, I read it. I saw your thoughts. I disagree. No thanks. Don't trade for Sam Darnold. Who's a player the Seahawks should trade for? Let me know in the comments section if there is somebody that the Seahawks should give a look to, whether it's Roquan Smith, like we mentioned, or Sam Darnold, or somebody else. Let me know in the comments section below a player the Seahawks should trade for.